Hi drummers, Liz Broscoe here. Thanks for coming back. Welcome back. This is Djembe 101 lessons where I am basically taking you through a little essentially mini lessons from a book I created years ago called Djembe 101. Just a couple of things before we get started. This is lesson number 4. If you are just joining me now, please go back. There are links below to 1, 2, and 3. I think it's really important to start on video 1 and follow me through this sequence that I am creating for all of you to be able to play the djembe a little bit better, or maybe this is your very first introduction to it. So either way, it's all good. One other caveat before we get started is that it's very difficult to get a really good sound. I'm playing a really loud drum and I have a very quiet voice, and so my longtime music partner is behind the camera, Mr. Wesley or Solik. Hi, Wesley.
Hi.
We're going to put a link below to the Wesley or Solik band, which is a group that we've had for a long time, so you can check us out in that creative endeavor as well. But best scenario when you're listening to these videos is either put some headphones on or use, one of those little speakers. And you can really hear the distinction between bass, tone, and slap, which is kind of what I'm after in expressing that to you. Okay, so moving along, we are picking up where we left off from the last video, which I had what I call the subdivision tree, which we started with quarter notes, eighth notes, and sixteenths, right? So now we're going to pull out the downbeat. In my book, I call this the foot thing because I tap my foot. I always know where the downbeat is. I'm a drum set player. That's what I do. I've got a rattle on my foot this evening to help you to understand some of what's going on. Plus, we're going to use the metronome again. Oh, no, not the metronome. So, first exercise. First of all, the notation of this. I want to point this out to you. This is a very simple notation. It's different than typical Western notation. It's a notation that I picked up basically from a book Mama Kate put out many years ago. Unfortunately, I think these are out of print because they are a ridiculous amount of money on Amazon and they're used. But this notation was developed by him and another gal that he put the book together with. And what it shows us is visually, usually there'd be a squiggly little rest sign here for the eighth note if you're not playing that. This just notates that whenever there's nothing at the end of a line, there's not a note. We're not playing that. So we're resting on the beats, but we're playing a tone on the ands. It's a very good exercise to do. So without a metronome, just think to yourself, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're just playing the ups. You want to put your foot in there, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, you want to use a metronome, 70 beats a minute, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, next exercise, 16th notes. In our previous exercise, there was a bass tone here and another tone. These were running 16th notes. Rhythms don't go like that. They can go like that. There are some running 16th note patterns and solo phrases and whatnot, but basically not everything falls on downbeat and has all these subdivisions. So we end up with a bit of what I refer to as syncopation. So we are not playing these first 2 16th notes. 2 16th notes equals 1 eighth note. So you've got 2 eighth notes that equals 1 quarter note, and you've got 4 16ths that equals 1 quarter note. So it all lines up. There's a whole lot of math that goes along with this, which is why it's so good for kids, by the way, to learn music. So and does are the only thing we're playing. So again, get this feeling going in your body. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Try to tap your foot. 1. Put it on the drum. Turn on the metronome. 1, 2, ready, go. 1. Let's do one line each. 1. Okay, great exercises. Why are we doing this? Because when we get into the rhythms, if we understand how these feel, now we understand how those feel in cuckoo. If we understand where that and is on beat 2, now we know where that slap goes in cuckoo. Oftentimes in a workshop, pushing and pulling, as I discussed on the time, happens a lot. Rushing and dragging. I'd be sitting in a workshop and we'd be getting corrected that we were doing such a thing, and master drummer would say, coming in too soon, coming in too late. You know, technically what they're saying is that maybe we're sticking the slap there or we're sticking the slap there. But Western music is not a way that the African culture teaches their African rhythms. So again, this is a hybrid approach to mapping it out for you so that you understand it and will play better with others, whether you're in a classroom setting, drum circle, or enjoying this instrument on your own, which is what my goal is. So I am now going to play cuckoo for you, which is bass, tone, tone, slap, bass, tone, tone, slap, bass, tone, tone, slap, bass, tone, tone, slap. Okay, that's cuckoo. Morie Basa, a really fun, simple rhythm. Both of these rhythms, all three of these rhythms, I'm going to show you Shiko at the end. I use them in my Drumming Forward program, which is why I'm throwing them up on the board today. So Morie Basa, it's got a bass on every downbeat. Bass, tone, tone, bass, and a bass, slap, bass, and a bass, slap, bass, tone, tone, bass, slap, bass, tone, tone, bass, slap. Okay, and then Shiko, if we remove these and we make this a big fat tone, and same over there, then we've got Shiko, bass on all 4 beats and every other beat. So we've got 2 basses and 1 tone. That's the rhythm. Bass, bass, tone, bass, bass, tone. Okay, so we'll flip ourselves to the overhead. So now you're looking at my hands. I'm going to play all 3 of those rhythms a few times a piece. So here comes cuckoo. 1, 2, ready, go. Morie Basa, 1, 2, ready, go. And then finally Shiko, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so now I'm back to the front view. Hi again. 3 nice rhythms to work with. Use the metronome. As an example, let's go back to cuckoo. 2, ready, go. Okay, for now, the sticking, you'll be able to see that more clearly on the overhead. When I say sticking, I mean handing. Which hand are you using? I refer to it as sticking because I'm such a stick drummer as well. Next video, I'm going to get into that formula. What is the typical standard approach to, are you using your right or your left hand? So we will discuss that later on. But take these rhythms, work with them, use the metronome. I eventually will bring in the play along CD that comes with my book that has a very nice Dunun track. It's kind of a generic Dunun track at 3 different tempos so that you can work any of the exercises I'm showing you and any of the rhythms that I am showing you. You can use those with the play along CD. Okay, so links below. Links below to the previous videos, 1, 2, and 3. Links below to my book and my website and some drum circle promo and also the Wesley or Solik Band. So I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Be good to everybody and see you back at the next video. Bye-bye.